Hey everybody, what is up? Welcome back to Final Trade. Let's have a pre-modern power discussion of this old classic, Ball Lightning. Yep, the 6/1 trample for 3 mana that is unaffected by Summoning Sickness, or as you know it today, has haste, and is despawned at the end of the turn. So you really got to think of this as a direct damage or burn spell disguised as a creature, because for the most part that's how it plays. Now, there can sometimes be a little bit of disadvantage to it. For instance, if you look at it in terms of mana efficiency, well, you're paying 1 mana to get 2 damage. If you use Lightning Bolt, you pay 1 mana to get 3 damage. So efficiency wise on the mana, the Lightning Bolt is better. And, Ball Lightning's a little better than the Incinerate because here you're paying 2 mana for 3 damage. So it falls in between these two cards in terms of damage to mana efficiency. But really what it brings is card efficiency because you're using 1 card to get potentially 6 damage. Now, if your opponent throws a creature in front of it, it absorbs some of that trample damage and doesn't come all the way through. But what's the downside to this card? What's its one Achilles heel? Well, any of these little jerks with first strike. Yeah. So there were quite a few first strike creatures back in the pre-modern era, especially these kind of super cheap, cheesy ones, and especially this one, Tundra Wolves. So any first strike creature absolutely shuts this down, because if you can deal at least 1 damage, because this is just a 6/1, 1 toughness, if you can deal 1 damage to it, none of that trample goes over the head of that first striker. And so that's problematic, but that's kind of the rare situation where something really shuts this down. And if your opponent has some kind of 1 point of direct damage they can put on the Ball Lightning, yeah, you need to wait till that's tapped or something in order to not get caught by that. But for the most part, this just plays like a 4, 5, 6 damage burn spell. And so it's still decently mana efficient. It's very card efficient. And basically it comes out of nowhere because it has haste. It was originally printed. You see this beautiful copy. It's off center, but otherwise beautiful from the dart. This was the first printing of Ball Lightning. And then it got another printing. This is a slightly faded 4th edition copy, like all 4th edition is. And then to the left of it there, 5th edition copy. And it had a couple other printings with this artwork. It was in one World Championship deck with this artwork. And then a couple other pre-constructed decks, a French version and a German version of 4th edition, or Renaissance as it was called for the French version, I believe. And then the last time it was printed with this original artwork, it was a foil promo. And the interesting thing is, in terms of actual regular printings for normal play, not pre-constructed decks, the final printing for a long time was 5th edition. And then it did not get printed again in a regular set until Magic 2010. And after that, it didn't get printed again until Masters 25 in 2018. And then it was reprinted one more time just last year in 2020 in Jumpstart. So it's kind of had a stuttering history of reprints since this dark 4th and 5th edition, when it was kind of printed 3 times in rapid succession over 3 years. So this is definitely a great card. You still see it on a lot of pre-modern Sly decks. There's nothing can beat it in terms of that era of time. It's a great burn spell disguised as a creature. So you like this kind of thing, if you love pre-modern Magic cards, these old beautiful frame, old style border cards, join me on Final Trade. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. I'd love to have you. Thanks a lot.